What if right now, in this very moment, you were standing in front of a doorway that could change everything you know about reality? Not a physical doorway made of stone or wood, but a hidden passage that leads from your ordinary existence into a higher realm of existence. A place where time bends, reality shifts, and the impossible suddenly becomes possible. Across human history, this idea has never faded. Civilizations rise and fall, but the whispers remain. There are secret gates, hidden portals, thresholds that connect our world with something greater. But here's the question. Are these simply metaphors for spiritual awakening? Or are they actual doorways into another dimension of reality? Modern science tells us that we live in a universe far stranger than our senses reveal. Quantum physics suggests that multiple realities may exist simultaneously, layered over one another like pages in an infinite book. Ancient traditions claim that humans have always known this truth, but only a few ever discovered the path to cross over. Why is this doorway hidden? Who placed it there? And perhaps the most unsettling question of all, what happens when you step through it? Tonight, we'll journey through the oldest scriptures, the deepest mysteries, and the latest science to uncover the secret of the hidden doorway between your present and higher reality. Stay with me until the end, because what you're about to hear may change the way you see your life forever. In ancient Egypt, the entire civilization revolved around the concept of passage, from life to death, from earth to the stars. The pyramids themselves were not just tombs, but cosmic engines of transformation. Hieroglyphs describe the pharaoh's soul leaving through a door of the stars, a secret gateway in the heavens that allowed the king to join the gods. Some Egyptologists dismiss this as mythology, but others suggest that the precise alignment of the pyramids with Orion's belt and the star Sirius may represent more than astronomical coincidence. These alignments, they argue, were doorways of energy, cosmic portals connecting the earthly realm to higher dimensions. One inscription even describes the soul passing through the hidden door of light. Was this poetic language, or a literal account of something the ancients believed was real? Thousands of miles away, in the Vedic traditions of India, we find another striking parallel. Ancient texts describe the existence of lokas, multiple planes of reality stacked above and below our own. Humans live in the middle world, but hidden gateways allow access to higher lokas, realms of gods, sages, and beings of immense power. The Rig Veda speaks of doors of heaven that open only to those who achieve deep meditation and purity. Yogic traditions even map out the body itself as containing hidden doorways, the chakras, with the crown chakra acting as a gateway to transcendence. To the yogis, the higher reality is not somewhere out there. The doorway lies within. But like the Egyptian pharaoh, the seeker must be prepared, purified, and initiated to step through. In Tibetan Buddhism, death is not an ending, but a transition through a series of doorways. The Bardo Thodol, known in the West as the Tibetan Book of the Dead, describes how consciousness, upon death, encounters visions, deities, and terrifying illusions. At each stage, there is a doorway, a chance to enter higher realities or fall back into rebirth. But here is the most fascinating part. Tibetan masters claimed that these doorways are not limited to death. Through deep meditation, one can access the Bardo states even while alive, glimpsing higher planes of being. Imagine that the hidden doorway exists not at the end of life, but right now in your present moment of awareness. In the jungles of Central America, the ancient Maya performed rituals with bloodletting and incense, summoning what they called the vision serpent. The serpent would appear as a shimmering gateway between worlds, through which gods and ancestors could emerge. Archaeologists once thought this was merely hallucinatory, but recent studies into altered states of consciousness reveal that ritual, fasting, and sacred substances may actually shift brain states, creating the perception of entering another dimension. To the Maya, the vision serpent was not a hallucination. It was the doorway itself, a living bridge between this world and the higher realms. Even in the Western tradition, we find echoes of the hidden doorway. The Greeks spoke of Plutonian, sacred caves where fumes would rise, and initiates could glimpse the underworld. The Romans later built temples around these gates, believing they connected to the realm of the dead. The philosopher Plato went further, In his dialogue The Republic, he told the story of a soldier named Air who died in battle, only to return to life. Air described seeing souls pass through great openings in the earth and sky, doorways that determined their fate. Why all cultures speak of doorways. From Egypt to India, Tibet to the Maya, Greece to Rome, the message is the same. There is a hidden passage between this world and something greater. These cultures never met. They existed on different continents, in different times, with different languages and gods. And yet, they all described the same truth. Why? Could it be that humanity, across the ages, has experienced the same mysterious phenomenon, glimpses of a doorway that truly exists? Or is this the greatest metaphor ever created, a symbol for the inner transformation of human consciousness? The answer may lie in what we explore next, the way religions and myths shaped this doorway as the ultimate bridge between the human and the divine. Movie camera, the hidden doorway between your present and higher reality. In Christianity and Judaism, the idea of hidden doorways appears again and again. The book of Genesis describes Jacob's dream of a ladder reaching to heaven, with angels ascending and descending. Jacob awakens and declares, "This is none other than the house of God, and this is the gate of heaven." This was not just a vision of angels, it was a literal gateway, a moment where two realities touched. Later in the New Testament, Jesus himself speaks of the narrow gate that leads to life and the wide gate that leads to destruction. For centuries, mystics and theologians debated, were these simply metaphors for morality, or hints of a true spiritual passage hidden from ordinary sight? Some Gnostic texts went further, claiming that hidden teachings of Christ included the knowledge of secret doorways within the self, through which the soul could ascend back to the divine source. In Islamic tradition, there exists a mysterious realm called Barzakh, a barrier between the physical world and the afterlife. The Quran describes Barzakh as a veil that separates realities, unseen yet profoundly real. Sufi mystics spoke of the 7 heavens layered above our world, each with gates guarded by angelic beings. Through prayer, meditation, and divine love, the seeker could ascend step by step, passing through each gate until reaching the presence of the divine. Once again, we see the same pattern, the concept of hidden thresholds, gates that lead from the human condition into higher planes of reality. The Norse imagined their universe as a great tree, Yggdrasil, with different realms connected by roots and branches. Between the world of men and the world of the gods lay the Bifrost, a glowing rainbow bridge. Only gods and chosen heroes could cross it, entering Asgard, the higher realm. Though expressed in myth, the Bifrost is yet another symbolic doorway, a shining bridge linking 2 layers of existence. Among Native American traditions, vision quests often led seekers to doorways between the natural and the spiritual. Through fasting, isolation, and ritual, they reported visions of stepping through a sacred gate into the world of the spirits, where ancestors and animal guides awaited. To them, this was not metaphor. The doorway was as real as the earth beneath their feet. The common thread, from biblical gates to Sufi ascensions, Norse bridges to native vision quests, one theme dominates. There is more to reality than we see, and the passage to that more is guarded, hidden, or revealed only to the worthy. The ancients used myth, symbol, and religion to describe these hidden doorways. But what if modern science is now catching up, revealing that such gateways may exist, not in fantasy but in physics? Physicists exploring the strange world of quantum mechanics discovered something unsettling. Our universe may not be alone. The many worlds interpretation suggests that every decision, every possibility, creates a branching universe. Right now, there may be countless versions of you living different lives in parallel realities. So, what separates these worlds? Could there be doorways between them? Some scientists argue that wormholes, theoretical tunnels through space-time, may serve as bridges. If stable, a wormhole could link not just distant parts of our universe, but entirely separate realities. Is this the scientific language for the same doorways ancient texts described? Quantum mechanics also reveals the observer effect, the idea that particles behave differently when they are observed. This suggests that consciousness itself interacts with reality at a fundamental level. If the act of observation shapes the world we see, then perhaps the doorway to higher reality is not external at all, but hidden within our awareness. This echoes what yogis, Buddhists, and mystics claimed for centuries. Consciousness is the key that unlocks the higher realms. According to string theory, the universe may contain 10 or even 11 dimensions, far more than the 3 of space and 1 of time we perceive. These extra dimensions are said to be curled up, invisible to us, yet fundamentally real. If higher dimensions exist, then crossing into them would indeed be like passing through a hidden doorway. Imagine walking down a hallway and suddenly stepping through a door into a world with new directions, new rules, new forms of existence. Scientists cannot yet prove this, but mathematically the possibility is there. Medical research into near-death experiences has revealed striking accounts of patients who, during cardiac arrest, report leaving their bodies, seeing light-filled tunnels, and encountering a boundary, often described as a doorway. Skeptics dismiss these as hallucinations, but in numerous cases, patients described verifiable details from outside their unconscious bodies. Could it be that consciousness is not confined to the brain, but capable of stepping into higher dimensions? If so, then the ancient myths were not fantasies. They were early attempts to describe what modern science is just beginning to glimpse: the merging of myth and science. When ancient priests spoke of gates of heaven, when yogis described chakras as portals, when mystics spoke of veils between worlds, they may have been touching the same truth physicists now seek: that reality is layered, that consciousness is the key, and that somewhere, hidden from ordinary sight, there exists a doorway to a higher reality. Movie camera: the hidden doorway between your present and higher reality. If the hidden doorway truly exists, then it should leave traces in human experience. And for centuries, people have reported strange phenomena that hint at another level of reality brushing against our own. Almost everyone has felt it. The uncanny sensation that a moment is repeating, that you've been here before. Science explains déjà vu as a neurological glitch, a misfiring in the brain's memory systems. But what if it's something more? Some psychologists argue déjà vu may be a glimpse across realities, a moment when two parallel versions of you momentarily overlap. In those flashes, the doorway between timelines opens just enough for your consciousness to sense both. Is déjà vu simply a brain hiccup? Or is it the echo of another you, living just one step away? Cultures around the world have seen dreams not as random illusions, but as journeys. Shamans, prophets, and mystics treated sleep as the moment when the soul can cross into other worlds. Carl Jung, the great depth psychologist, believed dreams reveal archetypes, doorways into the collective unconscious, a realm shared by all of humanity. To the ancients, this collective realm wasn't just metaphorical. It was real, and dreams were the key to enter it. How many times have you dreamed of a place you've never been, only to find it later in waking life? Could dreams be rehearsals, journeys through the doorway of higher reality? We touched on NDEs earlier, but the testimonies deserve deeper focus. Across cultures and ages, people who return from death describe tunnels of light, loving presences, and most intriguingly, thresholds they cannot cross. One man in a documented case described a great gate of light that he was told he could not enter yet. Another woman recalled standing before a shimmering doorway, sensing that beyond it was her true home. If these are hallucinations, why do they share the same imagery across the world? Why a doorway, a tunnel, a threshold? Why not random chaos? Synchronicities are meaningful coincidences that defy logic. You think of a long-lost friend, and they call you that same moment. You dream of an event before it happens. Jung believed synchronicity was evidence of a deeper order, a hidden fabric of reality that connects all things. Perhaps these are cracks in the wall, tiny openings where the higher reality leaks into our present. In the 20th century, researchers studying psychedelic substances like DMT, LSD, and psilocybin reported something remarkable. Participants consistently described entering other realms. Not just hallucinations, but entire worlds populated with entities, landscapes, and knowledge beyond imagination. The strangest part? Across cultures and individuals, the reports are strikingly similar. They describe tunnels, gates, and radiant thresholds, again the same archetype, the doorway. Could these altered states reveal that the human brain is tuned, like a radio, to filter out higher dimensions, and psychedelics simply adjust the dial, allowing us to perceive what's always been there? If doorways to higher realities exist, it's no surprise that secret groups throughout history claim to guard the knowledge of how to access them. The ancient Egyptian priests were not simply temple keepers. They were initiates into mysteries of life, death, and transformation. Access to the hidden doorway was not for the common people. It was reserved for those who underwent rigorous initiation. In Greece, the Eleusinian mysteries promised initiates a vision of the afterlife that would change their lives forever. Participants swore oaths of secrecy, and to this day, no one fully knows what was revealed. But many reported experiencing a profound shift, as if they had stepped through a doorway and returned. The Freemasons, heirs to medieval guilds, built their traditions on symbols of architecture: doors, gates, arches. Their rituals speak of entering the inner chamber, crossing thresholds that represent a passage from ignorance to illumination. Some Masonic writings even suggest that their true teachings, hidden beneath allegory, involve accessing states of consciousness that open doorways to higher planes. In the 19th century, the Theosophical Society popularized the idea of astral travel, the ability of the soul to leave the body and enter higher dimensions. Madame Blavatsky and other occultists described the astral plane as a vast hidden reality, accessible through focused will, ritual, and meditation. They claimed that humanity was on the brink of evolving, of learning to consciously step through the doorway into this greater reality. Alchemists are often remembered for trying to turn lead into gold, but their true quest was spiritual, to transform the human soul. Their texts, written in code, describe gates and doors of wisdom, metaphors for the passage from ordinary perception into divine knowledge. The Philosopher's Stone was not simply a substance, but a symbol of the key, the way to open the doorway within. Even today, whispers persist of groups that guard hidden doorways. Conspiracies claim that secret experiments, from the Philadelphia experiment to CERN's particle collisions, are attempts to open portals into other realities. While mainstream science dismisses these claims, the symbolism remains. Behind closed doors, behind veils of secrecy, humanity continues to seek the threshold between the known and the unknown. Why the knowledge is hidden. Whether in ancient temples, secret societies, or modern labs, one truth remains constant. The knowledge of the doorway is not freely shared. It is guarded, restricted. Why? Some say it is because humanity is not ready. That to step through unprepared is to face madness or destruction. Others suggest a darker truth, that those who hold the key to the doorway wish to keep its power for themselves. If hidden doorways exist, then seekers throughout history have tried to find ways to open them. While some are symbolic, others involve real practices, techniques that claim to shift awareness beyond the ordinary. For yogis, monks, and mystics, the most powerful doorway is silence. Deep meditation trains the mind to go beyond the noise of thought, to slip past the illusions of ordinary reality. Neuroscientific studies show that in advanced meditators, brain waves shift into unusual patterns. Some even report out-of-body experiences, visions of light, or contact with other realms. Perhaps meditation is not simply relaxation, but the tuning of consciousness to align with higher frequencies, the vibration of the hidden doorway. What if dreams could be controlled, shaped, and directed? Lucid dreamers claim that once you realize you're dreaming, you can push beyond the dream itself. Some report walking to the edge of the dream world, finding doors, mirrors, or tunnels, gateways into what feels like an entirely different reality. Astral travel goes further, claiming the soul can detach from the body and roam freely. Accounts of astral explorers often mention doorways of light, portals to other planes. Skeptics laugh, but the consistency of these reports across centuries is hard to ignore. From ancient temples to modern occult practices, ritual has always been a tool for accessing altered states. Chanting, drumming, dance, incense, these are not random. They are technologies of consciousness designed to shift perception. Many rituals were performed within sacred spaces aligned to cosmic geometry, pyramids, stone circles, cathedrals. Some researchers argue these structures act like amplifiers, focusing energy at specific points. Could they be designed doorways? Indigenous tribes saw sacred plants not as drugs, but as teachers. Ayahuasca in the Amazon, peyote among Native Americans, iboga in Africa, all used to open the door to the spirit world. Modern research into psychedelics has reignited this idea. Studies at Johns Hopkins and Imperial College London reveal that DMT and psilocybin users consistently describe passing through tunnels, entering vast otherworldly realms, and meeting entities beyond imagination. The question arises, are these chemicals merely tricking the brain, or unlocking perception of realities always present, hidden just beyond the doorway of our senses? What once belonged to mystics and shamans may now belong to scientists. Virtual reality, brain-computer interfaces, and quantum experiments may soon allow humanity to simulate or even access dimensions beyond our own. Could technology itself become the key, an artificial way to step through the doorway our ancestors only dreamed of? After thousands of years of myth, mysticism, and science, we face the ultimate question. Is the hidden doorway literal or symbolic? The case for reality. The universality of the symbol across cultures suggests a common human experience. Modern physics points toward hidden dimensions and multiverses. Personal experiences of NDEs, dreams, and psychedelics consistently describe doorways. If so, then the doorway may truly exist waiting for us, just beyond our perception. The case for metaphor. Mystics often describe the doorway as within, not out there. Transformation of consciousness itself may be the higher reality. The doorway could be a powerful symbol of awakening, not a literal gate. Perhaps the truth is both. The doorway is real, but not as we imagine. It is not a physical door to another universe, but a shift of awareness into a deeper level of the universe we already inhabit. So where does this leave us? Across every culture, every age, humanity has spoken of a hidden passage, a narrow gate, a shining bridge, a secret threshold. Whether through myth, meditation, or modern science, the message is the same. There is more. But here's the unsettling truth. The doorway is not in Egypt or Tibet or hidden beneath the pyramids. It is not locked away by secret societies or guarded by unseen beings. The doorway is with you, in the silent space between your thoughts, in the dream that feels too real, in the moment of déjà vu that makes you pause, in the synchronicities that make you wonder if something greater is guiding you. The doorway is not in the future. It is here. It is now. And perhaps it has always been open. The question is not whether the doorway exists. The question is, are you ready to step through it?